Hey, what's going on everyone? Supreme Cam here. So I'm gonna do a step-by-step of how skin actually works in this game over here. Because I have noticed a lot of people don't actually take advantage of this feature over here, or they just kind of left it on the side without really using it. Because I feel like people who don't use skin are not really drawing out the latent potential of like what 18 portraits can do for you in terms of damage output. So one most important part, I would say there's two main reasons why you want to use skin. So first thing first, with 18 portrait, there's numerous portrait that you can equip onto your whatever your gunplay is. Whether it's like EXQ buffing, initial cooldown, or like EXQ general CD reduction. So like enemy shooting slash melee power down whatsoever. We can actually take a look at the control help over here and just kind of briefly explain to you guys all what skin actually is if you guys are not too familiar with it. And then I'm gonna do like a walkthrough of like a step to step how to build a gunpla with the skin attached on and how it is more powerful than a traditional build with no skin on. So I think that's gonna be the overall overview of the video. I just want to do it like as a step by step because I don't want to like do it or jump all over the place and whatnot. So keep in mind that new players or anyone with that account in this game, you guys will receive one free custom skin over here. So the first one you don't have to buy, but the second on forward you have to either buy it for 500 horror chips, or you can use those little yellow and white-ish tickets. Those you can exchange, or they call it the expandable tickets, where you need 5 of them in order to exchange for like a custom skin. I'll go over that in a bit as well. So it says over here, skin can be equipped to a build gunplay in order to change its appearance. Equipping the skin will keep a gunplay's parameters, attributes, word text, portraits, job license, gear the same, changing only their appearance and the usable EXQs. So that's pretty much like what the skin is over here. And then bulletin number 1 over here, unlock condition. Usable absolute clear story mission number 3. So for example, this is targeting new players. You guys gonna have to clear at least stage 3 of the mission in order to unlock this over here, which won't take you guys long. I feel like clearing and up to story 3 is not gonna be that bad. Next is gonna be the skin EXQ over here. In exchange for becoming unable to use EXQ originally available to a gunpla, you can use EXQ set for that skin. When you equip a skin to a gunpla, the previous EXQ set will be replaced. So for players who currently not using skin and they have three EXQ set already. So when you use a skin to cover up that gunpla, those EXQ will automatically be replaced. So what that means is for those additional three slot that they would originally have, like for some EXQ, they can in return use those to change it to like portrait, where he can get power boosts and all that good stuff. So let's actually read more and more over here just to give you guys a little bit more details of it. Okay, so custom skin over here, a function that allows you to create custom skin from your parts. There are no rarity or level restriction for combining parts, so you can, so for cosmetic purposes or like for aesthetic, you can like use the bomb and you can make something like really wonky with it, and you can, and there's no whatsoever like condition of like restrictions or whatnot. This is more of like uh gunpla freedom. You can build whatever you want of your own liking. Obviously you can make it purely for like aesthetic, or you can make it aesthetic and usable in like actual battles, so like multi missions and whatnot, which I'll show you guys my personal build and all that. So okay, at first there will only be only one custom skin slot available, but more can be added from the shop. So obviously you have to exchange it or you buy it. So painting works just like just directly with non-skin, but I would say it's gonna take more clicking. You're gonna have to go to the custom skin, click through it and all that. I would say that's the hassle over there, but the overall gist of it is still pretty similar to that. And then it talks about EX skills. 3 EX skills to be selected for use from the part equipped to your custom skin over here. Regarding missions, if the attacking attribute, physical slash beam, and weapon type, saber, gatling, etc. of your custom skin and build content differs, the setting of the custom skin will will take priority over here. I think this is more of like if, when you guys are not, so whatever is on your skin is actually gonna reflect of what is gonna be on your battle. So for example, on your custom skin, you don't equip any melee slash ranged weapon. You're not gonna actually have it. Whatever is on your main build doesn't really, it's not gonna transfer over to your main to your custom skin. So that is one thing over here. So we'll actually talk about how to get them. For example, you want to buy more. So you can actually go to the expand box over here. So currently I don't have any of these exchangeable tickets over here, but you can scroll down just a little bit over here on the last item over here, expand custom skin over here. You can I currently have 7, so I actually bought 6 because everyone does get that free one upon getting into the game over here. So it's gonna cost you 500 hardships over here. I would say it is a little bit pricey. I kind of wish they would just tone it down just a little bit over here, but it is what it is. But let's actually go to a build over here as I kind of walk you guys along with like what skins actually is. So right here, this is a build where I don't have anything on over here. So I can actually equip on a skin first, and then it'll show you guys. Let's see. So right here, this is a skin. It's literally like a Gundam frame because you're like putting on. Think of this as like your own body. Like we put on clothing, like shirts, pants, shoes, socks, and all that. Think of it, it's like the same thing on this game over here. So like you put on hats, you put on like gloves and all that. So think about it like that. So whatever is on that will always do places whatever your main build is, for example. So on your custom skin, you can always change anything you like. For example, this week you put a new Destiny Impulse backpack you want to try it on. Yeah, slap it right on, and you can continue to use it on your regular ranged build because it's just a skin. What is underneath doesn't really affect unless someone to portray uh, wants you in terms of condition wants you to do specific weaponry and all that, then you have to be careful in that regards over here. So what we actually do before equipping a skin, let's actually build something out of this over here. So let's go to like a normal mentality of how people build stuff over here in this game. Obviously you need 3 vertex, and then you want each skill. So what people usually do, let's say I want to do like a melee build, I feel to do my high shot attack or melee attack, for example, by current value. So let's see. So let me actually add that with like this over here. So what is my highest in the box? Really? That's the highest in my box? There's no way. Highest in my box is, it's not that. We'll actually, can I do this as well? Huh. So base raw attack. Okay, I got it. So let me actually use this fella over here because this one with the change cube will be beneficial a bit. So let's see. So we're gonna, let's say I want to use Guy Gundam because we have an E skill. I want to use Hyper Mode over here. So this one over here, in replace of like of a portrait. So in replace of I can get another, for example, EXQ boosted by 80%. I am replacing that with an EXQ over here, which I highly do not suggest people doing that, because what the skill is actually gonna do is gonna replace. So right now I have right now, right, this is a non-skinned, so keep in mind non-skin. So I have EXQ hyper mode over here. So what happened when you equip a skin? So when I equip the skin over here, obviously I have nothing on here. So when I equip a skin, it will completely replace whatever EXL I have. You cannot set it anymore because it is locked under a skin. So what this actually tells you to do, you don't want to have an EXL slot. You don't want this anymore. You want a portrait. So I'm just gonna do it randomly for now, because this is just a testing of it. So what you want to do, for example, you're gonna filter by the highest, whatever you want, and then we're gonna actually unselect the EXQ. We're gonna slap over to the portrait over here. Then aren't you getting a little bit more out of it because your portrait or your skin is actually covering that slot already, right? Yeah, sounds pretty good over here, right? So that is one benefit of it because you do have 2 different portraits over here, portrait 1 and 2. For example, if you were to not use the skin, we don't use skin. Let me remove it. So I remove my skin over here, and then let's go back. Let's kind of go back over here. So I'm gonna set I have no EX gonna set, so this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna set the hyper mode over here. So what you're actually losing out, you are losing out two potential good portrait. For example, base portrait is like what 17 and 20%. So you are missing 3 times 37% boost. That is actually critical to like any build because of those. Those boosting can be like a life or death situation where you can take down a boss and whatnot. I am gonna showcase something where I have no 0% boosting and then something that has boosting. I'm gonna give you guys a clear demonstration of how portrait of any portrait can make a difference in your overall build. That's why using a skin is crucial because you can put everything onto the skin without any problem. But let's now talk about some condition you might need to worry about. So let's say I'm gonna go over to my shop build over here because I know there's some parts, namely the Strike Freedom head over here. The Strike Freedom head is a pain in the butt. Here is why over here. So as for portrait over here, let's read a little bit over here. With Dual Saber equipped, it shooting power boosted by 30%. With Twin Rifle equipped, it EX skill power boosted by 35%. So what this portrait is telling you to do, in order to use it, you need to equip with this over here. Whoops, I can select that, and then I need to select a twin category weapon over here. Yep. Okay, that's it. So this right here will activate the Strike Freedom portrait over here. But what you can actually benefit is from using a skin because let's say under my arsenal, oh, I don't have any good. My highest stat is not actually a twin rifle. What? Then am I losing out in return? No, actually you can just go over to your skin. You can go over to your custom skin over here. We can do some equipping over here. We're just gonna add it. This time we're actually equipping stuff to our skin. As the example. So we will just do this. We'll do this. Twin or Dual Saber. And then ignore the E skill over there for now because we're not actually using them. This is just to kind of activate the portrait in a way. Passively activate it because we can't actually activate it until we're in game to kind of get the damage differences. But okay, we're pretty much done over here. We have two conditions met. We have a Dual Saber, and B, we have a twin rifles over here. Then we're good to go. That's it. So this is the benefit of equipping a onto a skin over here because whatever you don't like, for example, you don't have the highest stat in certain category, just slap it onto the skin. No problem. No hassles and whatnot. But I would say for free-to-play players or new, especially new players, they don't have a lot of parts to kind of work around to begin with. So I would say this is more of like once you kind of get comfortable onto the game, or even when you have accumulated a lot of parts over here. So right here, this is already done. So on my main build, I don't have to worry about equipping myself with like a Dual Saber already. I can just normally equip myself like a, I don't know, what's my highest shot, let's say saber. So I can just equip like a single saber over here and it will not matter anymore because what is on my skin is gonna override anything within my main build, if that would say. So my highest stat in terms of weapon is gonna be a single. This is a regular rifle, but it doesn't matter because my skin took care of the condition of the Strike Freedom over here. So we are done. There's no problem. There's no hassle over here. So right here we're done. So now let's talk about some kind of like a negative part that you guys have to focus on, where I would say new players may not have the best, may not have the funnest part of it. Because for example, if I want to select a part, let me see if I have something that is on a skin. So let's say I want to equip something onto my main build. So let's say I want to equip the head of the straight tournament over here. Unfortunately, you cannot, because whatever is placed onto your skin that is permanently unable to use, unavailable unless you unequip it. So yeah, so that's basically it. So think of it as, for example, you're wearing a jacket. Obviously someone cannot use it because you're wearing it already. So it's literally like the same, like the same analogy, I guess. Probably not the best one, but that's pretty much it from here over here. And then I think the next thing I'm going to talk about, part two, something of more of like aesthetically. What I did for my own build, obviously this is like the foundation. So we have good portraits over here. Obviously I don't have all slab filled up because there are parts that does not have alteration yet. So obviously they will not have the second portrait. But what's interesting about my build over here? So keep in mind this build is a shot build base, and then a part I can equip onto the skin is anything. I can pick anything I want in my arsenal. So you can see that parts in here, there's some melee centric parts and some range centric part. It doesn't matter in the skin. It's all friendly. You can mix and match anything you like to have the appearance of your own liking. That's what I did in my build over here. So this is a quote unquote aesthetic and a usable in terms of like in battle and whatnot. And what I like about my build over here, I'm gonna show you guys in a bit right here. So we're gonna do parse modify and then effects battle. Ta-da! Look at all these glorious effects over here. So all the part I picked for this build over here is specific towards when I have any awakening skills, or I've done awakening skills, like because I have the nitro system on. Once I activate that, all these glory part will happen in the actual game when I'm in battle. Well, that's my kind of passion. I like glowy stuff. This actually looks pretty cool in game, so that's why I kind of build it the way it is. So that's my own personal preference. I know all of you guys tons of you out there like really good builders where you guys have tons of ideas of like what to build and whatnot. So that is the aesthetic part I want to talk about over here with the skin. You can infinitely build stuff on and then just equip it onto your own build, no problem over here. So I think this is pretty much it from over here, and then on the next segment I'm going to talk about having zero traits versus everything with traits on. So we're going to cut to that segment and we'll be right back. So we're going to be back for some experiment over here. So for all your non-skinner over here, this is a setup you guys should be running over here. So pretty good build over here all around. We do have 3 EX go over here. Let's actually take a look at the portrait. There are going to be 6 slot empty, but what were those portrait that I would have? So I would have a 25% melee power boosting, and then an EX skill buff up by 23%. So that's that over there. We are not using that in this setup over here. On the next setup, I'm gonna show you guys what are gonna be the differences over here. In terms of like over here, what do we have over here? A EX skill power boosted by 31%, so double. So this one I am gonna be losing out on 54 over here. Okay, numbers are adding up, right, guys? For all you non-skinner over there, how does this sound over here? Obviously this one I purposely had to put this one because I couldn't find another good stat arm that has an EX skill, so that's why we're using the Crystallite Unicorn for now. But up next, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna slap on a skin real quick, just for the added effects over here. We'll actually use let me use this one here. So we're gonna hop into like probably like a multi-mission, and then I'm just gonna take out one enemy and we'll do some damage comparison, and then we'll find out should you guys use a skin or not. Alright, we have arrived at the map over here. So this setup over here is missing 6 portrait over here. So what we're gonna do is I'll probably use the bicep, to be honest. I'm gonna see how much the bicep will do with 6 portrait over here. And you non-skin over here, please, after you watch this video, please use a skin. It's so beneficial. Let me use it right now on the bear guy over here. Let's see. Yeet. How much are we doing? 1.33. Alright, not too bad. And then I mean I can use one more over here. We'll keep the same setup as well, just for one added effects over here. So okay, 90k, 90k, 90k. And then I'm just gonna look at the final blow so I can kind of remember it. Final blow is 1 million flat. Okay, so this setup over here is without 6 portrait over here, which normally a non-skinner would do because they are supposedly equipping EXQ without those portrait over here. So I'm gonna be back with the same setup over here while I go back to we equip some portraits. Okay, so I'm back over here. I'm just gonna quickly reapply what I have. So gonna be using this one over here. Gonna use this over here, and then as for the arm, I'm gonna quickly change it out to the build strike over here. Even though this one is gonna be a little bit stat wise, just a little bit lower, because I need the portrait from this arm over here. Now I'll quickly change it out. So as for the backpack over here, we are actually gonna be using. Let me use this one. This one is actually better. No, I cannot. I need to use a P attribute. So you're gonna have to use God Gundams. Not bad, I guess, but we have to do it. So let me do one more trait over here. Do all these over here, and then let me just double check everything. Double check everything. Everything looks good. So R18 portrait active over here. So looking pretty good. So this should be a setup you guys should be aiming for to get. Whether or not these are the portrait you guys are using, but make sure to use every ounce of the portrait possible or every slot possible, so you don't miss out on anything over here. Same setup over here. So first we're gonna use the bicep, and then we're gonna use turn over the red. So let's hop back into the same multi mission and see what we can do. Alright, we are back over here. So on the other setup, I did a 1.3 mil with bicep, and then just a 1 mil in flat as final attack for the turn over the red. So it's gonna be the same setup over here. Gonna target the bear guy over here right now. Let's see what this one do. I expect some phenomenal damage out of this one. Yeet. 2 million. Yeah, that's what portrait will do for you guys. So make sure you're non-skinned over there, please. Please equip some portrait. Please use the skin, because you are gonna at the end of the day, you guys gonna do tons more damage. Look at this. We were doing like about, I would say let's give it take like 100k on the other one, but right over here we're doing like around 150 per pop, and then as a final attack 1.7 million. You guys see the big difference over there? In both EXQ, we were about 770. Was it? Yes, 70k difference or 70,000? Gosh, no, 70,000. No, 700,000. There you go. Math, man. Math, yeah. So you guys can see a big difference with just those 6 portrait. That's what I'm telling you. If you guys are not taking advantage of all your portrait, this is gonna be the result. You guys are losing out on tons of power over here. So we're just gonna hop out here, and then just wrap things up from there. Alright, with that being said over here, so this is just a quick, I would say, I want to call this like a walkthrough of like using a skin, like the benefit of it. To benefit, I can probably think of right now, it's going to be your overall damage is going to be substantially better than not using a skin, because with a skin you can equip its own unique set of EXQ that is towards your liking. And then secondly, it's going to be for more of like an aesthetic build over here, which you can kind of say this is more of like an aesthetic build, I would say. You do have that cool straight red turn red head over there, which I adore so much right now. I don't know why it looks good. And then as for the backpack, we got that turn red backpack over here. So this is like a aesthetic and a usable build over here. So you guys see a difference over there. Without 3 of those portraits, 6 in total, you guys can see a huge difference, right? We were doing like a 1.3 mil with just the regular bicep with missing 6 portrait. And then once I added 6 more portrait, how much more power are we doing? Just roughly around, was it 700,000, which is substantial, right? If you for example want to challenge like taking on those limited time multi mission boss, that is a difference whether or not you can solo it yourself or you have to rely on teammate to kind of take it down yourself. So with that being said, this is just a quick walkthrough of like, just wanna shine some light through you guys. Like, man, what kind of difference you can do after you use the skin over here. So with that being said, this will be pretty much it for this video over here, and then I will catch you guys all on the next one.